Delegates at the National Constitutional Summit convened by the eminent patriots of Nigeria, a leading assembly of elder statesmen, intellectuals, and civic leaders, have called on Nigeria's election management body, the Independent National Electoral Commission, to organize elections for a constituent assembly which will be given the responsibility of drafting what they described as a new people-driven democratic constitution. Chairman of the group and the former Secretary General of the Commonwealth of Nations, Chief Emeka Anyaoku, said the delegates proposed the establishment of a state police and the adoption of true federalism as key steps towards resolving Nigeria's pressing national issues.
On the morning show today, we plan to have a chat around that very important subject matter with Liberus Oshoma, a lawyer and public affairs analyst, with a view to examining how the ongoing public hearings by the National Assembly can possibly lead to the birth of a more organic and people-centered constitution for governance in Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. And we'll also have another conversation planned, this time with Anekan Umar Nam, the Akwa Ibom State Commissioner for Information, and we shall take him to task over a range of issues on the front burner, including, but not exclusive to, the state government's investment in energy infrastructure, the state's post-defection trajectory, which refers to Governor Umo Eno's recent decision to transfer his political allegiance from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, and the resurfacing of the 76 oil wells dispute between Akwa Ibom State and Cross River State. And as usual, we shall sign off the morning show with a review of newspaper headlines from across the country. It's going to be all that and a whole lot more today on the morning show. Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Well, the Obedient Movement on Saturday described Governor Monday Okpebholo of Edo State as a threat to national unity. Nana Kazaure, Director of Strategic Communications of the movement, said Okpebholo should be held responsible if anything happens to former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. Kazaure was reacting to Okpebholo's threat that Obi should not step foot in Edo State without informing him. In a statement, Kazaure faulted the governor's stance, stressing that the Constitution allows freedom of movement for every Nigerian. Right, we had seen this video trending on social media. Steve, Kachi, good morning to you both.
Good morning.
And, you know, we saw Governor Okpebholo actually I don't know if I'd call it a threat to the Labour 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, who actually turned 64 yesterday. Happy birthday to Peter Obi. And, you know, Nana Kazaure here is saying that the Constitution guarantees freedom of movement. I don't really understand the fuss about whether or not a personality like Peter Obi should be stopped from entering any state in this country. I mean, there was a time, I believe, back in a couple of months ago in Benue State, also the governor, Haisen, had also said that Peter Obi needed permission to go into the IDP camps. I mean, what really is going on here, Steve Ayorinde?
Well, I think it's silly politics.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had a fairly lengthy discussion about this same thing with Kachi and Adesua. And of course, collectively our submission was that it was, it's something that should be condemned. A veiled threat, most definitely, it was. With or without context, what came out from the mouth of the Edo State governor is undesirable. And Nana Kazaure is very much in order to say that the governor, if he meant what he said, will be speaking against the Constitution and will be infringing on the right of another citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, whose right is guaranteed, freedom of movement, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and of course, freedom of association. if there is a fear whatsoever regarding Obi towards 2027, let the battle be on the polling booths and on polling date, not for any governor in any part of Nigeria to ask another citizen to curtail his own rights and therefore say that you need to inform me because I can't guarantee your safety if you come on your own. What will the information to the governor do? When there are issues of security, the governors are quick to say that they are not the chief security officer because the Constitution didn't give them that power. They will even need to seek the permission of the Inspector General of Police before they can give orders, if any, to the Commissioner of Police attached to their state. But then when you are now dealing with a political foe or somebody that you see as a political threat, you now issue a veiled threat to say that, oh, I can't guarantee your security. You are not in a position to guarantee his security ab initio.
He did not ask.
And he didn't ask you,
He didn't
to
ask
start
for
with.
any
So
sort of-
it is condemnable. Yeah. It is not the sort of rhetoric that we would like to hear going forward towards 2026, when we will have the primary elections of many of the parties, and ultimately to 2027 when the elections will happen. Yeah. What people of Edo State want, now that he has been affirmed as a duly elected governor of Edo State by the Supreme Court,
right,
is good governance, not threats,
That's all.
not bad grammar, not needless rhetorics, but good governance to the good people of Edo State. I think that's what the people want, not threats against
Absolutely.
anybody.
At the end of that video, Governor Okpebholo also said, there were about 3 people that died when the last time he came here. Or one, I don't even understand how that even relates to Peter Obi coming into the state.
To me, it just speaks to audacity to start with. I think we're also in a very, very important time right now, and I think everything that's said needs to be said carefully, every single thing. Beginning, first of all, with the governor. What he said was incredibly pompous to start with, and it reeks of, a very, very false sense of belonging amongst his own people. Because what he said is a reflection of the fact that he strongly believes that his people in Edo State are against Peter Obi. That's why he said what he said. And then moving forward to what Nana Kazaure said as well, while I understand the frustrations of, the governor should not be saying anything, Peter Obi definitely is, I would say, on that list of political appointees or political leaders that every single person might have something good or bad to say about. He's not everybody's fan. So making a blanket statement like, hold Okpebholo if anything happens to Obi, I think it's a very, very wide-reaching statement. We could see people take advantage of this little opening and say something goes wrong, the governor is held responsible for it. So I think it's also important we're careful how we throw words around. Just yesterday, we had a conversation and a similar issue was on the front burner, hold this person responsible if anything happens to me. That opens up the door for anybody to do anything to said person because there's already somebody to be held responsible for it. So I think on the side of the governor, I don't even know. It's exhausting to think about the fact that he would even say a thing like that and say it with such courage and audacity and grit. Like, I know exactly what I'm saying. Moving on from that, assuming that he does understand that this is no way to speak, I think we should also be careful on how we make blanket statements, especially as we head into 2027. These are very, very important times for Nigeria, and we need to take them very serious.
All right. Well, I guess.
I don't think that Akazaure's statement was blanket.
You think it was blanket?
I don't think it was.
Well, that's my opinion. I do think it was
get your point.
blanket.
I'm just saying that I didn't think that it was blanket. I thought that it is important if you sense any anomaly to quickly speak up, not after danger will have happened that you now begin to run to the media to say.
Of course, she can speak up, but there's so many other ways to highlight a danger or an impending threat to a person's life.
I don't see anything wrong in saying
However,
that.
when you say hold this person responsible, what
that
I
person
said
who
was
has issued a threat.
Yes.
Within his
So are you
territory.
saying yes?
Within his territory,
Yes.
and therefore, if he does go to that territory and something happens, hold him responsible.
That's not what she said. She said
hold.
hold him responsible should anything happen to Obi.
Yeah, that's what Steve.
That's what she said.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, so
That's what-
anything mean anything, anywhere, anything at any point in time.
Yeah.
That's what I meant when I said
That is the
that's a
standard thing
blanket
to do.
statement.
Even if you have to
That's a
even
blanket
report
statement.
to the police to say that I sense a danger. Somebody has issued a veiled threat to me. The police allows it so that you can put it on record.
So
just
Steve,
in
if I
case
upset you
something
and
happens.
you're feeling some way, I'll say, if anything happens to me, hold Steve accountable.
Yes, that happens a lot.
And then tomorrow,
that's
maybe
really-
OG says, oh, Kachi, I'm going to just
Well,
kick you.
I think,
I will hold Steve responsible.
I don't think that she's off point
You know?
by saying that as well, Kachi. And I do
I get that,
agree
but I'm
with
just saying that there are other ways that she could have said what she said. And I think Nigerians could also learn from
the
that.
fact that Okpebholo is the chief security officer of the state. He should be responsible for the sort of rhetoric that he dishes
I
out.
completely agree
And
with
if
that.
he's saying, if Obi enters the state without my information, there'll be, what did he even say at the end of the day, Self? It
He cannot
basically
secure his
he cannot-
security or his
exactly.
safety.
So, I mean,
That was what she said.
I mean, what did you expect Nana Kazaure to say? I mean, that's really all she had to say. If anything happened to Obi, this man has issued this sort of threat, please hold him responsible. Well, I guess on that note, we'll have to just let sleeping dogs lie at this
they'll be
point,
fine.
and we'll see
No,
if...
they're not sleeping dogs. Let the authorities be aware, particularly
Yes.
the police.
Yes.
There are no
I mean,
sleeping
I think
dogs
this is
here
conversations
when
that
human
we've been-
lives, you know, are at stake.
I
And
doubt
we're not
there'll be
talking
any,
of just
I doubt
anybody.
anything will happen.
Of course, but of course, but of course.
Politics, like you said.
Optimistic.
But of
you
course,
know?
but
Yeah.
this is politicalism,
Yes.
and we know what
Exactly.
the country has experienced in the past,
Exactly.
which we don't want to go to. And if a citizen is saying that I'm putting you on notice just in case,
I don't think she's
that's
wrong.
how it works.
I think that
that's
that is
how it
how
works.
it works. And you know that it's not only, like I said, Edo State that has issued this sort of threats
Exactly.
against Peter Obi. There's also, you know, like I said, Benue State.
Don't forget
and
Bayelsa.
Bayelsa as well.
When you know there was going to be a rally, a
Yes.
pro-Wike rally, and the
Yes.
governor said, well, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
you know, if this can happen here, given so and so. Other parties said you do not have the right.
Yes,
So
so
when
it's not the
people
first
express
time.
their constitutional
So we
rights,
should all hold people responsible
don't say no. I mean,
blanketly.
don't let it
Yes,
sound
so-
simplistic. But
What-
when people respond, you know, on their rights, don't let us deny them.
Okay.
All right, on that note, I guess that we can
Yeah.
agree to disagree.